Elevator fights, early walkouts, and of course controversial outfits are just some of the craziest things we've seen over the years at the Met Gala. There's been a lot of pivotal moments from the prestigious event, but these ones are definitely not going on the highlight reel. First on our list is AOC's Tax the Rich dress. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or simply AOC, caused a huge stir back in 2021 for all the wrong reasons. Controversy and shocking moments is nothing new when it comes to the Met Gala. Celebrities are encouraged to come up with extremely outlandish outfits, so you're always bound to have more than a few that stir up some mixed reactions online. AOC's 2021 outfit definitely wasn't the strangest looking thing on the red carpet, but the message is what really got people going. She was wearing a fairly normal looking white dress, but written on the back in bright red letters was "Tax the Rich." Now that's pretty rich, pun intended, coming from someone who is attending such a high society event. A ticket to the Met Gala costs a whopping $30,000 US, so only the richest of the 1% can even afford to go. So obviously many people were quick to point out the unbelievable hypocrisy in AOC's message. Now in response to the backlash she received online, the Congresswoman stated that the message was the important part and the time for healthcare and climate action for all is now. She also stated that New York elected officials are regularly invited to the gala to oversee the city's cultural institutions. No matter what excuses she managed to come up with though, the hypocrisy left a terrible image on the politician. Next on our list is Lena Dunham. Tension amongst table mates does in fact happen at the Met Gala. Usually everyone acts very cordially with each other, but there are some occasions where people just don't get along with their peers for a number of different reasons. On this occasion, we are talking about Lena Dunham's interaction with NFL player Odell Beckham Jr. at the 2016 gala. Dunham claimed that Beckham was incredibly rude throughout the entire evening and paid absolutely no attention to her even though they were sitting at the exact same table. Dunham said in an interview for her own newsletter that the gala should be renamed the Metropolitan Museum of Getting Rejected by Athletes. She claimed that Beckham was far more interested in scrolling through Instagram rather than looking at a woman wearing a bow tie because she wasn't the perfect image in his eyes. After this bizarre and very angry outburst, Dunham had to retract some of her statements and apologize for what she said. She claimed that her emotions got the better of her, and it was incredibly easy to feel bad about yourself when you're surrounded by beautiful supermodels. It seems like fans really didn't like Dunham's behavior, and her apology wasn't too well received either. Beckham himself seemed to shrug off the angry comments and just stated that's life. Although it didn't really seem to have an effect on the NFL star, it definitely ruffled some feathers online. Up next is Demi Lovato. Leaving the event early is probably not the best way to get another invite back to the Met Gala. Lovato was attending the event in 2016, but it was pretty obvious that she was not having a very good time. She did the usual posing for photos on the red carpet to show off her outfit, but beyond that, she didn't have anything good to say about the prestigious event. Lovato was so sick of the atmosphere and the people around her that she just decided to get up and leave in the middle of the event. She later went on to explain that the people around her were unbearable and she just couldn't handle it any longer. There was one celebrity in particular who she did not initially name that was apparently the worst of them all, and this was making her want to drink. The performer has been very vocal about her substance issues in the past, so she felt that this was the best time to just leave before things got any worse. Leaving early was not a good look in the eyes of the organizers, but people really didn't like her comments about what she did after she left. Lovato decided to go to an AA meeting while still wearing her expensive diamonds and claimed she felt more like the homeless people in the meeting than the celebrities at the gala. It was a bit of a ridiculous thing to say while she was wearing expensive jewelry and comparing herself to people living in poverty. After that, we have Kim Kardashian. Alright, this one could be all sorts of different incidents. Kim really doesn't have a very good track record with the Met Gala, but that hasn't stopped her from showing up in style. She was reportedly banned from the event a few years ago, but she would still show up in any way to flaunt her latest trends. Her most controversial moment though was when she showed up to the 2022 installment wearing Marilyn Monroe's dress. This was the exact outfit the late supermodel wore when she sang "Happy Birthday Mr. President" many years ago. Many people were unhappy with Kim's decision to wear the dress and felt it was a great disservice to Monroe. It was also reported that Kim managed to damage the priceless dress while she was wearing it, which only made matters even worse. Kim tried to save face by revealing that she went on a rigorous diet to fit into the dress, but this was just another point that drove people crazy online. She explained how the diet caused her to suffer from arthritis that was so bad she couldn't even move her own hands. People claim that she was practically advertising an eating disorder in the name of fashion and was missing the point completely. It seems like Kim would have been better off just saying nothing at all instead of digging herself a bigger hole. Next up we have Z and Solange. In what has to be one of the most high-profile celebrity couples of all time, Jay-Z married Beyonce in 2008 and the pair have been together ever since. Of course, when one of the greatest rappers of all time marries one of the greatest singers of all time, that marriage is going to be analyzed by fans and paparazzi 24/7. But this marriage nearly had a very different outcome after a crazy incident unfolded during the 2014 Met Gala between Jay-Z and his sister-in-law Solange. Rumors were starting to circulate that Jay-Z had cheated on Beyonce, and Solange obviously had a little more information on this topic than the general public. It wasn't until the gala had concluded and the pair were attending an after party that Solange lost her cool and attacked Jay-Z in an elevator. Apparently she had confirmed that the rumors were true, and she was incredibly unhappy with the rapper and what he had done to her sister. The surveillance tape from the elevator was later released to the public, and things were really not looking good for Jay-Z and his relationship with Beyonce. We all remember Beyonce's 2016 album Lemonade that dropped a ton of not so subtle hints about Jay-Z's reported infidelity. Now Jay-Z did eventually come forward and apologize for what he had done and managed to save face, but this was a pretty bad look for the iconic rapper and the gala as a whole. Next on our list is Teyana Taylor and Pusha T. It's not often that a food-related incident can have such a negative impact on your career. With the high-profile guests in attendance and the very expensive admission, you would assume that the food at the Met Gala would have to be top-notch. Most of the time we don't even get to see the food since there are no cell phones allowed in the event, but some celebrities like to break the code. Pusha T decided that he was going to snap a pic of his food for the gram, but he instead decided to call out his table mate Teyana Taylor for her very unique meal choice. It seems like Taylor really wasn't enjoying the food that was provided for her and stuck in a hearty serving of Chick-fil-A to eat instead. Now Pusha T posted a pic of Teyana's meal on his Instagram story and claimed that she was embarrassing him. He then posted another story claiming that Usher tried to stop her from doing it, but she just didn't listen. Taylor was determined to get her Chick-fil-A into the Met Gala, and she definitely succeeded. Some people found it funny, but others just really didn't see the humor in it. They claimed that she had deliberately insulted the integrity of the event, and her actions were grounds for dismissal. On the other side though, some people really didn't like Pusha T being a bit of a snitch in this scenario, so this was a bit of a double-edged sword. Up next is Sarah Jessica Parker. Someone who is known for nailing the themes of every Met Gala took it one step too far. Sarah Jessica Parker has a pretty good track record of rocking some very interesting designs at the gala. We all know the event changes themes every year, and SJP always seems to nail them to a T. In 2015, however, many fans felt that she got it very wrong. The theme of that year's event was China through the looking glass, so people were encouraged to celebrate Chinese culture. Now, maybe SJP thought she had nailed another theme when she turned up in her outfit, but it ended up completely backfiring on her. The dress she chose to wear was actually very normal as far as the Met Gala goes, but her headdress caused quite a bit of controversy. Many people felt that her design was appropriating Chinese culture, and that she was feeding into the Dragon Lady stereotype. It wasn't a good look for someone who has become a bit of a staple at the event. This has also hurt her image in the eyes of the organizers. SJP did manage to bounce back after this fumble, but this incident turned out to be a bit of a wake-up call for her. After that we have Jaden Smith. Bringing a piece of yourself as a date is a whole new level of weird. Jaden Smith is someone who's never been shy when it comes to expressing their fashion sense. He has worn some pretty eye-catching fits over the years, but his appearance at the 2017 Met Gala drew a lot of attention for a very different reason. Jaden Smith wore a very neutral fit that was made up of all black, but people were really curious about what he was carrying in his hand. When reporters asked him about his very bizarre prop, he informed them that they were locks of hair, and this was his date for the most prestigious night in fashion. It was a bit of a mystery why anyone would bring their own hair as a date, but Jaden stated that if his sister Willow couldn't come as his date, then his own hair would have to do. This didn't really destroy his career by any stretch, but it certainly cast Jaden Smith in a very bizarre light. Even for Met Gala standards, this move from Jaden was just really strange. No one could really make any heads or tails of it, and if there was any sort of subliminal message hidden behind the unsettling prop. He also rocked some eye-catching gold grills that were sparkling every time he opened his mouth, but even that couldn't distract anyone from his hair date. Next on our list is Liv Tyler and Stella McCartney. this one had to be just as awkward as it was controversial. Back in 1999, Liv Tyler and Stella McCartney, both daughters of rock and roll legends, showed up to the Met Gala incredibly underdressed. Most people tend to make waves at this event for their over-the-top designs, but Tyler and McCartney looked like they were ready for an actual rock concert. Now, in their defense, the theme of the event this year was rock style, but they clearly had no idea what the event was all about. Stella McCartney was in fact a fashion designer, and decided to go with a very simple idea once she received the invite and the theme for the event. Very basic white shirts with rock royalty written on them were the outfits of choice, but it's pretty obvious why this didn't go over very well with the organizers. Usually we're always talking about people who push the boundaries with their crazy designs at the gala, but Tyler and McCartney were catching attention for all the wrong reasons. In a sea of people who are wearing giant dresses and oversized heels, two girls wearing sleeveless t-shirts were always going to look out of place. Many people criticized the women for their lack of research on the event and decided that their outfits were an actual disgrace to the gala. From the other side of things though, this is probably the closest anyone got to actually following the rock style theme on a real level. And last but certainly not least, we have Jared Leto. This isn't even one isolated incident. This is a collection of absolutely weird and outlandish Jared Leto outfits that caused quite a stir online. The singer and actor is pretty much a show on his own at every single Met Gala. No one manages to push the boundaries as far as Leto, but that has led to a whole host of mixed feelings online. Just last year, Leto showed up in a super creepy cat suit and really embraced the whole furry persona. It was so strange seeing a giant cat walk through the crowd of people on the red carpet, but there was a collective yeah, not surprised moment when the head came off and revealed that Leto was inside. Some of his past outfits have included a matching twin outfit with Alessandro Michele in 2022, as well as a human head prop in 2019. He's definitely built up a bit of a reputation as the wildest celebrity at the Met Gala, but again, this has led to some mixed emotions. Even for the Met Gala's crazy standards, some believe that he is just taking things too far and is almost disrespecting the integrity of the event. Even though over-the-top fashion is heavily encouraged, Leto really pushes the envelope. So much so that when Frederick Robertson showed up in an outrageous outfit in 2022, everyone just assumed that it was Jared Leto in disguise. Whether anyone likes it or not though, the Met Gala and Jared Leto are clearly tied at the hip with their crazy fashion statements. And that covers our look at the worst celebrity moments from the Met Gala. Will anyone manage to top any of these crazy outfits and moments of the 2024 show? We'll just have to wait and find out. Thanks again for tuning in everyone, and we'll see you all next time.